When the mosque was nearly finished, the Prophet gave orders for 2 small dwellings to be attached to its eastern wall, one for his wife, Sauda, and the other for his betrothed, Aisha. The building had taken altogether 7 months. The Prophet and his daughters now went to live with Sauda in her new house, and after a month or 2 it was decided that Aisha's wedding should take place. She was then only 9 years old, and a child of remarkable beauty. To Aisha, the Prophet had long been very near and very dear, and she had been accustomed to see him every day, except during those few months when he and her father had already emigrated, and she and her mother were still in Mecca. From her earliest years, she had seen her father and mother treat him with such love and reverence as they gave no one else. Nor had they failed to impress upon her the reasons for this. She knew well that he was the messenger of God, that he had regular converse with the angel Gabriel, and that he was unique amongst living men in that he had ascended to heaven and returned from thence to earth. His very presence told of that ascent, and communicated something of the joy of paradise. In his miraculous touch, this joy was even tangible. When others were overcome by the heat, his hand would be cooler than snow and more fragrant than musk. He seemed, moreover, ageless, like an immortal. His eyes had lost nothing of their lustre, his black hair and beard had still the sheen of youth, and his body had the grace of a man whose age was only half of his 53 years. Small preparations were made for the wedding, not enough, at any rate, for Aisha to have had the sense of a great and solemn occasion, and shortly before they were due to leave the house, she had slipped out into the courtyard to play with a passing friend. In her own words, "I was playing on a seesaw, and my long streaming hair was dishevelled. They came and took me from my play and made me ready." Abu Bakr had bought some fine red-striped cloth from Bahrain, and it had been made into a wedding dress for her. In this they now clothed her. Then her mother took her to the newly built house, where some women of the helpers were waiting for her outside the door. They greeted her with the words, "For good and for happiness, may all be well," and led her into the presence of the Prophet. He stood there smiling while they combed her hair and decked her with ornaments. Unlike his other marriages, at this there was no wedding feast. The occasion was as simple as possible. A bowl of milk was brought, and having drunk from it himself, he offered it to her. She shyly declined it, but when he pressed her to drink, she did so, and offered the bowl to her sister, Asma, who was sitting beside her. Others also drank of it. Then they all went their ways, and the bridegroom and bride were left together. Unto those who are attacked, permission to fight is given unto those who fight because they have been wronged, and God is able to give them victory. Those who have been driven from their homes unjustly, for no cause other than for their saying, "Our Lord is God." The Prophet had received this revelation not long after his arrival in Medina. He knew, moreover, that permission was here a command, and the obligations of war had been stressed in the covenant with the Jews. An early revelation had said, "Deal gently with the disbelievers, give them respite for a while." But the last 3 words were portentous, and now God had declared war on QURAISH. His messenger was therefore obliged to attack them by every means in his power, and to make it clear to them that Arabia would never be safe for them until they submitted to the divine will. Nor was he unaware that to give QURAISH no peace meant giving himself and his companions no peace. This premonition was soon to be confirmed by another revelation. "Fight them until persecution is no more, and religion is all for God."